This works. Hi everyone. Oh, it's working. It's 3:45, so we might get started on our next talk. So I'd like to welcome, with It's Much More Than Landcare, Vanessa Whelan from Kooroora Bay, Landcare. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi everyone and welcome. I'm going to tell you a little story this afternoon. It's not scientific, but it's a story about people. And I'm going to start with this slide. So my story is about a Landcare group called Kooroora Bay Landcare on Lake Macquarie. And it's a story about the people there and the connection. And it's about a transformation that they made on a site in Kooroora Bay. And it's also about the wider community. So, where is Kooroora Bay? This is Lake Macquarie. And Kooroora Bay is where you can see the red arrow. Lake Macquarie is 120 kilometres north of Sydney and about 30 minutes drive south of Newcastle. Now, at this point, I'd like to just acknowledge the traditional custodians of Lake Macquarie, the Awabakal people, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. The lake itself is the largest salt inland lake, coastal lake, in the Southern Hemisphere. It is massive. It's got about 90 suburbs around the lake. The perimeter of the lake is 174 kilometres. There's a lot of suburbs, there's a lot of people moving up to the lake, and it's expanding with more and more people finding out, especially from Sydney and areas like that it's a hidden gem. Shh. So, the story goes, I lived in Canberra for 30 years, and my husband and I, who met at Newcastle Uni, we decided to sell up and move from Canberra and settle back in the Newcastle region. So we sold our house 4 years ago, bought a caravan, took off. And we knew that we would eventually settle back to this place. Now, some of you in this room who know me know that I have been involved in Landcare all my life. And as a teacher, and then as a sustainable schools coordinator, and then the last part of my career was working on the National Landcare program in the federal government. So I said to my husband, when I move and when we settle in somewhere that we're going to become our forever home in retirement, I want to get back involved in Landcare. I want to get back to the grassroots of Landcare. So that's what I want to do. So we're travelling up towards Newcastle, and we were heading up to the Cape. We were going to travel for 3 years. And I thought, I'll just have a little look around and see what kind of houses are for sale. Now, my husband's a kayaker, and he said, you have to have a water. I want water close by so I can just wheel my kayak to the water. And I thought, I'd like a water view, but I don't want to look onto other houses. I want to see nature. So, driving through Newcastle, we accidentally found the perfect house. So we bought it. But then we kept travelling for 6 months, went up to the Cape. So when we came back, and it was time for us to move into our house, we were sitting outside the front of the house, and we were waiting to pick up the key. And this lady with blonde hair walks out and goes, hello, are you my new neighbour? And we went, yep. She said, do you want to come inside? Do you want to come and meet my Landcare group? We're having morning tea. I died and went to heaven. My husband's like, oh my goodness. So little did we know, we bought a house not knowing anything about the community. I knew nothing about the area. I didn't know who my neighbours were. And all of a sudden, I met this Landcare group, Kooroora Bay Landcare. Now, what I noticed about this group was that they weren't just friends. They're like a family. My house, one of the reasons we bought it, is we looked onto this incredible forest. And this forest has a creek running through it, down into Lake Macquarie. But I sat around this table that morning and I could just see these people have been working on this site for the last 24 years. But they weren't just Landcare friends. They were so proud of the work that they had done and what they had changed this site from, and I'm going to show you some transformation photos. They have been friends, but they have been working together, supporting one another, and becoming more like a family. And they have opened up this whole world for me. Now that I'm retired, I wanted to get back involved with Landcare. They introduced me to all the people around the area who are like-minded, but they live around the area, and they just introduced you to, you know, where your hairdressers are. These are your dentists. This is the best recipes for morning tea. So it just opened up a whole world. And even my husband, who said he would go to Landcare with me, he's also met friends that he can go kayaking with. And it's just opened up this incredible community. And I just could not get over the connection of these people. But they took us in straight away. And all of a sudden, from being a little bit nervous, moving into an area going, I don't know anyone around here, how am I ever going to find a purpose here? And how am I going to change from being somewhere for 30 years and start all over again? This is how it happened. So that's why it's much more than Landcare. So here they are, hard at work. So I actually showed this presentation to them all before I left. And they said, you've got to put in some pictures, Vanessa, of us actually doing work, because we don't just eat morning tea. So the story with this whole group is that in 2001, they all lived around the lake. And this site, which I'm going to show you in a minute, was a rubbish tip. It had cars, it had mattresses, fridges, you name it. And everyone just dumped stuff in it. Nobody really cared about this site. It was public land, council land, but they decided that they wanted to fix it up and make it more of a natural resource for the community. So here they are, hard at work. Oh, I'm just getting back. Just before I go on, the other thing that I've discovered, being part of this group now, is they have connected me to the Lake Macquarie Landcare Council, Lake Macquarie Landcare Volunteer Network. And so down the road is an office, and there's some workers in that office, and they are funded by the Lake Macquarie City Council. So there's Landcare coordinators there in that office, and they provide support to us. So I went down to the office to meet everyone there, and I asked one of the coordinators, because now I'm the new team leader for this group, how do I manage this site? What do I do? And so they've helped me and our group develop a 5-year action plan on how to look after the site, and you'll see how big it is in a minute. The other thing about that amazing office down there is that there's also a great committee, and we've got 2 committee members here. We've got the chair, Marion, and also Winsome. There is a committee there that supports all of the Landcare groups around Lake Macquarie, which I believe there's around 140 Landcare groups around Lake Macquarie. And the committee does amazing job supporting those people and individual Landcarers like myself. Recently I went on a bus tour and went and had a look at 5 different sites around the lake, and I got to see all of the other different sites and how they're being managed and the same sort of some of the issues that they're facing. So I was learning from them. Winsome puts on a great Saturday sessions where we get speakers in at the office and they talk about certain things, so I got an opportunity to learn things as well. And they also work on the Living Sustainably Festival, which is on in Newcastle this weekend actually. So there's a fantastic group of people down in just 5 minutes from my house that provide us with free plants to come and do some regen work, and they support us as Landcarers, as our Landcare group. So what I did was, before I came here, I thought, right, I loved everyone in this group. They're just so lovely. I thought I'll just go and interview them all. So I went and sat down and asked all of them the same 5 questions. And one of those questions was, what is it like to be a part of this group? I'm going to show you a few quotes in a minute. The other thing I did was one of the groups took some photographs in 2001 when they first started, and I've got some before and after photos to show you what the site looks like now compared to what it was. So some of the quotes from them, one lady did say to me that she had a young son with a disability and she lived by herself, and then she joined the Landcare group. She has never ever felt alone. And that the other lady said to me that we're not just friends, we're lifelong friends, but we're not just being neighbours anymore, we're actually true friends. And then Helen, who makes the most scrumptious morning teas, by the way, she puts on the morning tea every second Wednesday morning at her house after we finish, and they're always beautiful. She just said that she feels so proud that she's built this resource now in the community that the whole community can enjoy. And of course, the last quote I had to put in because I asked my husband, and he said, it's definitely about Helen's scrumptious morning teas, but he does do Landcare work as well. So this is the site. We have a major road. So the blue on the left-hand picture that's my house, and so I look at that site. It's a mini riparian forest. It's got a creek that comes under the Bay Road and then it empties into the lake. And you can see all the houses around it. So it's 0.67 of a hectare. It's a remnant rainforest. It has mangroves there, and I believe that mangroves are quite protected now around Lake Macquarie. And there's not a lot of bush land or forests. Well, there is some around Lake Macquarie, but it's actually becoming more and more suburban. So some of the areas that we have, like our site, are really important to protect and maintain. So now I'm going to talk about that transformation. So you'll see at the top, these were photos that were taken in 2001, and the bottom are photos that I took about a week ago, or maybe a bit longer than that. So what I did was when they gave me the photos, I went, okay, I'm going to pick a couple, and then I'm going to go out to that site and I'm going to take exactly the same photo and see the difference. So I'm just going to whip through these quickly because I have time. Of course, the group wanted me to show you the most amazing pictures of the bird life. When I leave my house and I go away, one thing I notice is I don't hear the birds. We have the most incredible array of birds and bird life in our forest, as well as we do have some sugar gliders. We've got a few boxes in there as well, but the bird life is incredible. And also some plants. We have a lot of, these are the mangroves, and the mangroves are doing quite well, and it's one of the important things for us is to make sure that we maintain the health of the mangroves because they are endangered around that area. And lastly, I'm going to talk about community quickly. So now that they've built this amazing resource, it's amazing, it's beautiful. And as a new team leader, I feel a huge sense of responsibility to help this group now maintain this beautiful forest because I see now that there's people go and get married on the site. They have picnics on the site. You see lots of new families coming in with young kids and they sit under the trees, and it's an asset in our community. And one of the groups said to me, the worst thing I could do is let this site go back to what it was. So that is the challenge we have. So I'm going to now draw on your knowledge because I'm actually wanting something from you. I want to ask you 2 questions, and I'm going to just go over to the whiteboard. I want to find out from you, as a team leader for Landcare, how do I maintain the momentum? They've been doing it for 24 years. And some of the people in the group are getting to the stage where they can't physically Landcare anymore. They want to be there, they still come for morning tea, but I haven't got them on the site doing the work. So how do we maintain that momentum? The other challenge I have, how do I recruit new people? Knowing that everyone's time poor. I know I'm lucky, I can go on a Wednesday morning, but a lot of people have to go to work. So how do I recruit? I'm going to go over to the whiteboard and I want someone to give me some tips.
Keep up the morning teas.
I think they're the same thing. I think recruiting people is how you keep up momentum.
Okay.
I think bringing in new people is how.
How do I
Yeah. One thing that's really worked well for us is doing like walk and talk tours.
Okay.
That's open to the local community.
Yep.
So just advertising, like obviously on social media, but putting posters up in local cafes and so on,
Yep.
and saying come and see the work that we've been doing, and just walking people through and saying this is what we've done. And
Okay, I've got more questions. Thank you.
Get the local schools involved.
Local schools is recruiting or permanent? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both.
so
And that also gets the teachers involved.
Yes. And I believe they have tried that before, but I'm going to
Yeah, keep going with it.
Wednesday's a problem because you only get people who can't be working Wednesday, so you might get younger people at weekends.
And thank you. I have actually started to think I might need to do some weekend Landcare as well.
But not during sports time.
That's
Saturday morning's a
You're right.
disaster.
Yes,
Okay.
it is true. Yes.
I've got a question and a suggestion.
Okay.
Come and try days is the suggestion. A come and try day, so it's a no
Yep.
pressure. Come try planting, weeding, whatever.
Yep.
But also, what more work can you do on your plot? Or is there things that you're wanting to do on the plot?
Really, it's to maintain it.
Yeah.
Because we do have a 5-year action plan, and it's because the site's quite big. We've got different treatment zones, and every zone is a little bit different. The plants are different, so it needs different attention for different reasons. Obviously, there's the usual weeding, but it's also just to maintain the creek as well, so that it remains healthy, so the mangroves remain healthy. So there's different things and parts of the site. Yes.
For keeping up momentum, especially with volunteers that are losing their strength. Yeah, and whatnot. Have you looked into potentially getting accessible tools and equipment? There's some, ergonomic type tools that can keep the volunteers still going out there.
We do have tools. Is that what you mean?
No, like actual
Okay.
ergonomic tools. I'm not sure if I'm.
Yeah.
Tools for older people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, elderly.
I know we already said social media, but
Yeah.
like consistency on like especially Instagram is like our whole model basically for engaging with young adults. And I know that schools are super incredible, but as soon as we leave school,
I know.
it's kind of
And
like
my youngest son, who's 26, said the same thing.
Yeah.
Mum, you just got to get on Instagram. Yes.
Look up Les Robinson's Enabling Change or Passion Mashing training. Les talks about find people's passion, then mash it with Landcare. So you might have paddleboarding on the lake and then come and,
Yeah, that's
plant some
great.
trees or something.
Thank you. Up the back?
So one is thinking about diversification with things into other sustainability-related topics.
Yes.
Seen that work in our local group where we've had new members who've come in from interest in solar,
Yep.
and in the end, because of the community build, they joined Landcare.
Yep.
The other one is actually corporate groups.
Sorry?
Corporate groups.
Oh, yeah.
So there's lots of corporates that are willing
what's happening behind you on that map with that bushland behind you?
What's happening?
Yes.
What do you mean behind it?
Well, if you have a look at the map, can you bring, so you've got your little lakeside plot. Then there's quite a lot of bush behind with some tracks through it and things.
Yes.
What's that?
There is. It's just an old quarry and it is a walk. So sorry, I've got to keep going.
We've got the old timber in Mittagong,
Yes.
which has got bug trails all through.
Yep.
But Landcare's doing marvellous things in there.
Okay.
And maybe if you wanted to have a new project to bring in your new people,
Yes.
you might start with half an acre or something like that.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to just show you a little story that I put together as a thank you to the Kooroora Bay Landcare Group for making our transition to Fennel Bay, which is where we live, which is on the same as, we're on the border of Kooroora Bay and Fennel Bay. This is for them, but I want to share it with you.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, the skies are blue, and the dreams that you dream really do come true. Whoa. Well, someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind. Where troubles melt like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me on somewhere over the rainbow. Skies are blue, and the dreams that you dream really do come true. Well, I see trees of green and I see red roses too, and I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see stars up high and I see clouds on white and the brightness of days. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also are the faces of the people who are passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say I love you, and I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
made as a gift for them, but I just wanted to show it to you because it really is just, for me, it really is. Landcare is much more than Landcare. It can be about connection, it can be about transformation, it can be about community. And if it wasn't for Landcare, I wouldn't have a furnace in my retirement life.
It's true.
It is so true. It is so true. So if you ever feel like a sea change of moving somewhere else, please get involved. I'm sure you will.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. If anyone wants to stay on, I've got the next speakers in a couple of minutes. I'll give other people about 2-3 minutes to swap rooms. Hello, you presenting? Oh, I'm on the mic.